What is up, everybody? How we doing? How are we doing? Reed Antiphy, Iwanu, Peter Peter Poppins, One Drunk Man. How's it going? How's it going, guys? It's been a minute since I've done the solo. It's been like a hat. Hell yeah, dude. Hat. Morning. Just hit afternoon, but good morning. Always. No, it's been a minute because last week we took the week off, and then for 3 weeks, I mean, I did one like by my with during the 24 or the not 24, but the anniversary stream. But Eric did the 2 before that, so it's been a hot minute since I've done like a solo build stream. So, but how we doing? How's everybody doing? I hope everyone likes my new hardware. My new hat. It is literally a hat with a hat on it. The hat that it has. My only complaint, I would have loved to see another hat on the hat. Speaking of anniversaries, Clackco, thank you for the 1 month sub. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, we got a cool build. I'm excited because I've been without this build for probably... God, it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. Probably since January, at least. We are building my OSA, rebuilding it for the 3rd time. It had Zycos in it, and then it had alpacas in it, and now it's going to have lavenders. I'm extremely excited. I did not lube these. 89 grams. I did lube the spring. I tub lubed the springs. I think they sound great. I put them in like little tester boards and stuff. They sound awesome. I'm really, really excited. My hair's doing a weird thing because I took a shower before stream, and then like I wash my face. Gets up in there, but there we go. I'm also, I'm gonna start wearing hats again. And what better way to wear hats than the hat? Hat, exactly. Hatception. So, but yeah, quick shout out to our awesome partners and sponsors. Let's get that up here. We have Zap Cables for the partners. We have Zap Cables, Type Beast, Smith & Rune, and 3D Keys, as well as our awesome sponsors, OmniType Project Keyboards, Canon Keys, and Kinetic Labs. We'll hear more from them later. Phone is already blowing up. So, but how's everybody doing? What are you guys doing? You guys and gals and everything. How's everybody doing on this Saturday? What are y'all up to today? You got any fun builds? What are we doing today? So I have something on my desk that I'm very excited to share because something finally came in. GMK Terra is being delivered today, so we might even get an unboxing of GMK Terra on stream if it shows up before like 2 o'clock, which would be dope. Yep, Parkers. So yeah, I'm excited. I got some fun mail. I'll show it off again, of course, on Tuesdays. We stream, for those who don't know, we stream. Eric and I'm one half of Mex on Deck. I'm the MXO. He's the Deck of Mex on Deck. We stream on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central Time. Tuesdays we have our weekly talk show between just Eric and myself, and Wednesdays we have interview streams. This week we are continuing Artisan April with a list of awesome people, including Hellbent, Sodi Caps, and Bad and Bougie Caps. So excited to see that. Dutch Master, how's it going? King Friday the 7th. Damn, how long since you ordered? So GMK Terra was in November 2019. It's been a minute. The issue there was GMK Terra, when GMK sent them the samples, they sent them the samples like 7 months after they put in the order for the samples. Roughly. I could be wrong on my numbers. But the other thing is they didn't send one of the colors, one of the caps for, I think, the gray. It was either the gray or the yellow. They just didn't send. They didn't even send the color, so it took even longer. So very excited to see that. And so it's been a minute. I'm used to, and then I've got another set I'll show off just in a sec. Kung Fu Panda 119. Hello. Redoing my water cooling loop in my computer. What a fun day. Nobody said. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's difficult. But anyway, let's take it down to the desk camera and look. SA Godspeed. It's here. It exists. Aloha, dude. What's up? SA Godspeed finally showed up. It only took forever. It looks really good on the bumper. It looks really clean. It's very tall, obviously. Brass, getting a nice patina on the sides there. The meme is over. Long live the meme. I have it in hands. We're going to talk more about this whole experience Tuesday. So, but it looks really nice. It's loud. I will say my 7U is definitely warped some. Not like particularly thrilled about it, but you know, we'll get into that. I guess I can. Well, I don't want to mess with it. It's a super duper loud board. Maybe we do a typing test because it's been a minute since I've had SA on hand. If I can get this plugged back in. So let's show off the board. First and foremost, the PCB. I am reusing it from my last build, Project Keyboards Alice Layout PCB. It's got RGBs, but this is an aluminum case, so it doesn't matter. So, already flashed, literally desoldered it, checked it to make sure the desolder was clean. I've got one spot that I will probably need to be reminded of. And then we're going to try our best to remember where the space bars go. If I can get it working correctly with the correct space bars, I will be happy because, yes. Cafe is going on this, like I said. Let's show off this brown plate, nice and dirty because it's been used. Patina, I got number 12 of 25. Can't really, let me see if I can get the ISO up some. Whoa, hey now. Scuff Stream, what up gamers? So it's like a bronze color, if you can tell. It's gonna match Cafe really, really well. I'm excited, very excited. So this is what we're building on. I don't even know where the screws are. I'm gonna have to find them. That's the one thing I always forget something. So I've had this board for about a year and a half now. I absolutely love it. It's the only board that breaks my rule of don't own a board that you can't do everything on. And that includes gaming, which is why that rule means that I don't buy more than one Alice, and I'll explain that in a second, but I don't own more than one Alice. I don't know how that hair got there. Jesus Christ. A little peek inside of the world of how much fucking hair goes everywhere. Nice hat. Thank you. It's my hat. I love it. I'm also like realizing my hair is just in my face. So, but yeah, I got this in October of 2019, I think. And, like I said, built it with Zycos. It's by Blind Assassin. It's got a heavy ass weight. One thing I do like that the board itself is serialized as well. But I really love this board. One thing I am not a huge fan of, which he started adding later to his boards, is these don't have any alignment tabs like the Baca and the other list of his boards. So when you put it together, you kind of have to hold it in place, or else it can literally just slide. But this was a private group buy run the summer of 2019. Both Osiris and I have one. Myself, him, and someone else got gray. And then stash wound up with the gray, the third gray. But now there are only 2 grays because I got this Cerakoted when I got my Squid 60 Cerakoted. Sandwich mount. This is top mount. This is top mount. So as you see, I only put a few screws in here just to keep it together. As you see, the plate sits in the top. The plate is a little bit warped, but that's going to happen. And another top piece serialized. So everything nice and serialized. I'm not going to do LEDs because 1, I don't have them, and 2, I don't care. But when it is top mount, when the plate gets mounted separately to the top of the board, which in reality, you don't even need the bottom. It's just there to add weight / you're not putting a raw PCB on your desk. So, but we're going to snag this plate. Don't really need the rest. Well, we will need this for spacing when it comes to stabs. So, but anyway, my rule is I don't buy HHKBs and I don't buy 65%. I'm not a huge fan of 65%. The meme is that I hate it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't like that it's asymmetrical. I also think that I just don't use arrow keys and that row. I don't use that row at all. I don't need, I've got my delete key on another, I've got my page up, page downs on another row, and I've got my arrows on another row. So I don't really need it, and when I want that, I will go up to a 75% or a TKO. And it saves me a lot of money. And then I don't buy HHKBs because it's hard to game on, and every board that I use and buy, I tell myself I need to be able to game on, or just do everything that I usually do. So HHKB is out, and then OSA, the Alice style boards are out. But the Alice board is my perma work board. Now I've been using this at work. I had GMK Peaches and Cream, which it will go, GMK Peaches and Cream will go back on this. This set is for my Saturn 60. But it will go back on this, but I use my work board, or I use this as my work board, and then I'll use my SM keyboards 60% one keyless. So on that front, that is how I was at work. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just have my dedicated work board and it will look nice. So today we are going to be using Novel Keys stabilizers. I've enjoyed them. I enjoyed them more now that I know the way of BDZ lube. Godspeed looks good on that though. It does. It really does. So we're going to use the remaining of, not all of them. There's going to be one more left, but the most stabs I will typically use in a board, because there are 2 space bars as opposed to 1. For those curious, I do use both as space bars. So we don't need that, and we don't need those. We do need all of that minus 2 screws. Did I just miss one? I guess I just missed one. So that can go there. So we're going to full on BDZ lube these. Just bought some BDZ lube. There you go. So I recommend, if you're building a board with lighter switches, I personally recommend that you only lube the wire part with the BDZ lube. And if you want a little bit smoother, maybe you can go 205 on maybe just the slider. But honestly, most stabs these days are pretty smooth. If you have a heavy spring, like 89, 98 grams and above, then you can start playing with the whole stabilizer being lubed with BDZ. It's going to be a little sluggish. I personally like my stabs to be a little sluggish. I want them to feel smooth. And when I say sluggish, I don't mean like it literally is hard to hit and hard to reset, but it doesn't. There's a few different ways of thinking about it. Eric and I go, this is just a difference of preference. Eric wants stabs to feel exactly like the switches. This is a conversation that Eric and I had with IMURU. I want the stabs to feel like a stab. Like I've wanted to feel like a stabilized key. That spacebar is different, so I don't mind it feeling different. I'd rather it be a little heavier and smoother. You liking novel stabs better than Duroc or C3 or just on par? I'd say they're on par. I haven't tried the V2s yet. I think they're about the same. So they're a little loose. I will say they're a little loose. But I think with linears, I think these are going to do great. So, quick shill. If you guys don't already, Kinetic Labs has some great brushes. Great little, come on, focus. Do your best. I use the 0. You can also use the 00. I like that it's got the little grip there. So, Kinetic Labs. You can hit ! sponsors to get this exact brush. They come in a 3-pack too, so it's very rare that you'll ever even need more than that. So boom, you're just set. This lube is from Space Cables. They hooked it up. It's not an official sponsor, but we're good friends with them. But you can get it from 3D Keebs. You can get the lube. Do my eyes deceive me? Is that an elusive Godspeed? It is. It is the It's here. I'm genuinely surprised. Absolute poggers. So we're going to apply a light amount on the inside. Little goes a long way with these. But how's everybody doing? It's been a busy week. Obviously, the Baca 60 polycarb was last weekend. Thank you to anyone and everyone who got in on the group buy. I sincerely appreciate it. By the way, guys, I am meeting up with 3D Keebs tomorrow, and she is going to provide me with some desk mat boxes, and then those will go out either Monday or Tuesday. So if you won a desk mat on our stream 2 weeks ago, I do apologize that it's taken this long to get out, but they are still coming. They're just sitting in a box. I just was trying to figure out a way to not have to order 25 boxes to ship out 5 desk mats. So if you guys won a desk mat, they are still coming, I promise. Because I don't need 5 more desk mats. And I don't want to keep them up. No rush, thanks for the update. Hell yeah. So this lube is kind of like, it's like pasty. It's very, very thick. And when it dries, it doesn't dry like liquidy. It dries like a paste, like a dried paste. So, interested to see. We're just going to town on these bad boys. But what is everybody? How was everyone's week? This was a tough week. I'll be honest. It was a tough week for me. For those who don't know, I teach special education, and we got put through the ringer this week. One student in particular was just not feeling it this week, and just sometimes I like to say that sometimes we're just feeling out our feelings. So yeah, they just really enjoyed not listening and not doing what we asked them to do, as well as trying to run away. And that's just the thing, right? It's just like I don't want this to make it sound like I'm bad-mouthing any part of this, like with children with special needs. you have they need routines, and we've been doing standardized testing, and that's thrown them out of their routine, and that will kind of mess with their day to day, and it can be difficult, and it's usually difficult for everyone involved. So this student also stole my wedding ring off my desk. So quick story. For those who have not heard it, I was outside recess. I was throwing the football around. It was a little toasty that day. My hands swelled up, and to get a good deep clean, because we were playing football, so I was like, all right, let's take off this little hair tie. I usually wear a watch and my ring. I put them right on my desk, right next to my keyboard. And I'm going to go like heavy duty clean my hands up to my wrist, like up to my elbows basically. And I went to go do that, and I came back and I was like, my watch is the only thing here. And just to try and not be an asshole, my first instinct was like, don't blame a child. Don't be the guy that can't not blame the child immediately. So I kind of peeked over at their spot, at their desk. Their desk is right behind my desk at work because, this student in particular just has the ability to cause problems. So I keep them nice and close by. So I kind of peeked over, and then I was like, I told my coworker. My coworker was like, hey, go. You were just in the bathroom, like retrace your steps. I was like, all right. So I go and retrace my steps. And then like 10 minutes later, Godspeed did finally show up. Legion Liberty. This is not a self-made desk mat. You can actually get it from Cannon Keys. The Cannon Keys logo is up in this corner. It's covered by my face. This is the Great Wave desk mat. I imagine they'll rerun this. I imagine it's a fantastic desk mat. I can show off. And Godspeed is in hand, and it's amazing. But I come back. I'm like, nope, no dice. I don't see my ring, and that student had gone to go talk to my coworker, and I kind of motioned to be like, please keep them over there. And lo and behold, the student had confiscated my wedding ring and was like, well, I tried to, and one thing, this particular student, it's a power struggle. You really have to think about like what you say, how you say it, because they're trying to gain power and gain leverage in this relationship between the student and the teacher. And you have to look for it. You have to wait and look for it and listen for it, because anything you say will be used against you. Anything you say that could be they're always trying to kind of get that power over you, and you have to let that. And then the second they start getting power over you is the second they stop. Froth Boss, thank you for the follow. The second they get power over you is the second they stop listening to you. So you have to be very direct. You can't make jokes or anything like that. But the other thing is you can't get too mad at something that they do, because then they will immediately know how to trigger you. And that's what they want. They want a reaction from you. Came for the lubing, stayed for the life lessons. So you can't, if you react in a way that they want you to, which is typically angry, then they got you. Then it's over. Then they will forever do whatever they can to recreate that situation. So you kind of have to play it by well, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. But then you can't play that too much, because then that will start swinging. So it was a fun day. Lubing your life with Mix on Deck. But it was a week. That was Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember. The week did progressively get better. And then we had an asynchronous day at work, meaning the children were not there, but we had meetings all day, like physically at work. But bought my wife a new desk. Very excited about that. We've been talking. Her desk was like, if you looked at it in the wrong way, it would wobble. We had basically we had two the Linmon of the legs, but we couldn't find an Alex drawer. And I was at Monday. My work chair just exploded, and so I was like, all right, well, I'll go get one of those like cheap IKEA desk chairs, because this chair was like not even meant for desks. It was 100% like a 90s like comfortable chair that had wheels. And so I went to go and I saw all these Alex drawers and I was like, what the fuck? Like, holy shit, I didn't even know, like, these were discontinued. Why are they here? They have so many. And so my wife and I have been talking about a big thing with those Linmon desks is unless you anchor it to the wall, they're pretty wobbly. And I told her, I was like, they have the Alex drawers. I'm going to go see if they have any of the countertops. So I walk over, and since work from home's been a huge thing the last year and few months, the countertop like this, the countertop Alex drawer setup has been sold out just constantly. And I walk up and I was like, listen, I know you guys don't have Carl B, but like what other, and he was like, oh, we got Carl B desks. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what are the words coming out of your mouth? How? It was just like right place, right time. So called up the wife and I was like, hey, we can do this right now. And now we have a new desk. And we just threw out all the old stuff this morning. So anyway, life lessons while lubing. Lube and life lessons with Mex on Deck. So I have to remember where to put stabs, because the spacebar stabs are a pain in the ass to remember where they go. Come on. Come on, you son of a bitch. Am I doing this wrong? I feel like I'm probably doing this wrong. Maybe I am? I don't know. Nope, I'm definitely doing this wrong. The great restyle. I mean, honestly, it was out of nowhere. The one desk I wish they still did was the Pinarp. It's like this really cool stripy desk. I was waiting forever for it, and then they were like, can it come back in September? It's actually going to come back in October. It's no longer coming back. I was like, fuck! I waited like a month for that to never show up. So, got those, and then the pain in the ass part. So this part's easy to remember because there's only one. I don't know if Langlandia is in chat, but we just had a discussion about... Chad, I want to hear your thoughts. Where do you think Bowser gets all of his money to afford all of the crazy amount of shit that he does just to fuck with Mario? Because I said that he basically told the Koopa Troopas, hey, you work for me, I'm gonna burn you and your entire like village. Hedge funds? Yeah, maybe. He kills Koopas just like Mario. Exactly. He's just like, work for me or die. And then He's like, well, but that, he's like, that doesn't explain. There's multiple like planets and other things like that and other areas of the planet. And I was like, I mean, have you seen how many gold coins are just laying around? Mario uses them on extra lives. Bowser's like, I'm gonna make this fucking gigantic ship. Random thoughts. So we'll see if this is the one that we want. I don't remember. All those planets are just flush with cash, I'm sure. And he just shows up and he's like, I own this planet now. And they're like, oh, okay. This does not appear to be the right stabilizer. You would think that, because I'm doing it with the 1.25, which means that technically this should be further away. Chewie finally received SA Godspeed. I did. I fucking did. But it means it should be further away, which means so that it can fit the 1.25. I don't know why I'm not like mounting these in the plate. Okay, first and foremost, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Let's screw in all but one of the stabilizers. That or a large system of corporations pushing for universal domination, making Bowser attack Mario. Will both work? For the corpos and people, am more willing for Mario to take over than win regardless. I mean, hey, Kappa. It could be. Maybe it's the first galactic empire. So we're going to do our absolute best to figure this out so I don't have to fucking desolder. It's just a minor Star Wars plot, exactly. So that isn't. These are nice and flush in. So what we are doing right now, I'm putting in some anchor switches. I don't know what this is, but cool setup. Thank you. This is a, we are building a mechanical keyboard. So if you do not know about the hobby of mechanical keyboards, I can explain it to you, or you can run now and hold your wallet in place. But basically, keyboards used to be, and a lot still are, mechanical, meaning that a keyboard's makeup consists of switches, which is what you put caps on, and that's what sends the signal. You're basically creating a short inside the switch, and that's what sends the signal to the PCB. The PCB plugs in via USB right here. There are multiple different sizes of PCBs for multiple different size boards. That will send the signal. You need the PCB. The plate is there to hold the switches in place. You don't necessarily need it. But it's there to hold those switches in place, create a different feel for the keyboard, and then obviously you have the case, so what it sits in to protect the PCB, and then you have caps. And basically you can, with custom mechanical keyboards, you can do just that. You can customize everything. You can customize what switches, you can customize the layout. So obviously this is going to be more of an ergonomic feel versus a more standard staggered layout. This is a 60%, so you can have very small keyboards that take up less size. You can have standard keyboards with numpads. You can have normal keyboards without numpads. The list goes on. So we build and talk about, this community is quite large, so it's harder to explain that this channel is more focused on what happens in and out of the hobby. But just like any hobby, there are multiple layers to it. But at its core, we build and type on mechanical keyboards. The drama, absolutely. If you'd like to know more, check out our YouTube channel. You can honestly start from like the first couple episodes because that's where we talk the most about. I just realized that if I'm gonna have to move this, I'm gonna have to pull this out. I'm dumb. But at its core, we just build keyboards and talk about keyboards, and they're amazing people. They're amazing, hardworking vendors. There are awesome community members. There are designers, artists, you name it. It's part of the community. Can't forget about the hardworking people that code all of the cool shit that allows us to do cool shit in this hobby. Like Warhammer, but exactly like Warhammer, but for keyboards. Not exactly, but like very, very similar in that there is a community and there are lots of cool things to do, lots of cool ways to customize. I played Warjack, I think that was what it was called, for a while. The only thing I didn't like was after you explained it, it's fascinating. It's a very cool, I mean, listen, everyone uses keyboards. It's hard not to. You use it on your phone. You use it at work. You use it at home. Like everyone types on keyboards. They're like ogres. They have layers. Everyone types on keyboards. We're in the world of like maybe have nice things. Spend money on something you use all the time. You wouldn't download a car. But you want to spend money on the things that you value, right? So if you are at work all the time, why not spend a little money on something you're going to literally be putting your hands on all day? If you don't want to buy cheap tires, you want to buy tires that are reliable because maybe your job required, one you just might need. Also, we got there. Maybe you just want your tires to last you a long time. These keyboards, fully customizable. You can do a lot of fun stuff with it. So, plus there are a lot of really cool people in the hobby. I've met one of my two best friends. My one best friend brought me in the hobby, and then I met my other best friend in the hobby. So there's just a lot to talk about. That doesn't sound good. We're gonna have to retry that one. Oh, is Cafe gonna go live or gonna live on this OSA? Yes, absolutely. That sounds good. Ugh. All right, let's. Just because I like showing when something's messed up. Good spacebar or good enter. Bad. Listen to how loose that is. Tight. Loose. We're gonna fix that. Normal. 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 Bad. Bad shift. Gotta punish. You gotta let the board know who's boss. This is horse shit. I think we just need to add some more lube. So we're gonna tune with it built. Because one thing you can do is tune while built. So I'm going to, you know what, let's tighten it up. Let's tighten this look up. Jax, how's it going? Who's your daddy? What is it? SA Godspeed looking mighty fine. Thank you, Static. So we're just going to add a little more lube, but I think a lot of it might be the wire. If we're going to add more, if it doesn't fix it, pop it off. Hit the wire some more. One thing you can do, if this is what I did, like literally exactly, with the DBZ lube to a lot of my stabs, after the fact that they're lubed. So we're getting really up close and personal. So you just take some BDZ lube. Come on, focus on my hand. All right, let's keep that focus. Nope, you're not. You take a decent amount. You pull the wire up and you just get in there. Yeah, it may look a little messy, but guess what? Who's going to see it? Unless you post a picture of that angle. Which then, yeah, sure, whatever. You might be accepting your fate. What we're doing is we're adding lube to the end. This is where a lot of the rattle is going to come from. So we're just getting in there, getting nice and personal. Just yeeted my brush, and I turn this. Let's boom there. Move that aside. Let's test it out. Make sure we don't have to fucking start from scratch. Look at that. Better, much better. I just need a cap. I'm just not really happy with it. I don't know what's happening. Is it tight? It's currently what's happening. I'm not happy with the stabilizer at all. I'm trying to, like, listen. Hey, Chewy, have you ever put your hands on the HB60 honeyboards by MTB? I have not. I have not put these hands on it. I'm happy with that one. I'm happy with that one. I'm happy with... It doesn't sound bad. I just don't know how I like it on the feel. Well, when in doubt, add more lube. We're not having actuation issues, so. Can't even say happy when you tap it, Keck. I don't... Maybe, you know what, let's be smart about this. Maybe it's an awkward switch. Could just be an awkward switch. It's weird. So when I apply pressure to the plate, it feels great. So I think it just needs to be built. Dark V2, these are the novel key stabs. When I apply pressure to the plate, it feels and sounds a lot better when I let go of it. So I think it might just be, you can always micro tune caps or stabs after. So I might just say, screw it. Let's move on with this build. There's this. Because sometimes it's just not going to sound the exact same when it's not built. So let's put a few more anchor switches and get this build on the road. We at least know the spacing is correct. Of course, I just put up my fucking screwdriver. Sorry for hitting the mic. Got to screw these in. We did, in fact, put them in the right spot. Thank Christ. So put this up for now. Put these up. If you build keyboards, I highly recommend taking maybe some extra space bars or shift enters, whatever. The mic added the effect, absolutely. Just make a little bag. Boom. Now you got caps. So whenever you need a test, I have the what's it called? Why can't I think of words today? I guess I got really hung up on the fucking stabs. I got the icon mod pack from, I think it was from Canon Keys. Eric and I got it, and it was like the white on black, black on white, and it matched minimal. So I just have all these extra. The hat came in. It did. CF Canner, I was describing our week and how it was rough, to say the least. So get this up and running. Boom. Rough is an understatement. Yeah, it was tough. Thursday was good. Thursday was okay, and Friday was beyond acceptable. Friday was good. But yeah, so I solder at 660 degrees Fahrenheit. That is a little on the high side. You can absolutely solder at like 600. It'll just take a little bit further, a little bit more to heat up, a little bit more time. But you're not going to ruin anything really with 660 degrees as long as you are careful. So again, we have 89 gram unlubed linears of the lavender variety. These have a nylon housing and a palm stem, I believe. Very, you can only know what a good week is if you have a rough one. Absolutely, dude. The bad days make the good days better. Something like, was it South Park? One of the most wholesome things on the planet is South Park. When Butters, he's like, they're like, don't you just wish you were never in that relationship? And he's like, no, I feel sad, but the good thing is, like, I was very happy, which is why I feel sad. And I'm like, oh my God. You're like in a relationship with a vampire, and you're teaching me life lessons. I love it. So let's get this soldering on the roads. Delphin here? I haven't seen Delphin in a while. I think he was here the other day. Another mic hit, because why not? Emo stand, that's what it was. Are those standard 15 millimeter cherry springs? No, they're not. 89 gram from Novel Keys. One of my favorite springs. Okay, one of my 3 favorite, I will say. I think 74 is probably my favorite, because I think 74 gram is peak in regards to tactility. It's heavy enough for a nice fast return. It's light enough for Light enough to keep the tactility there, and nice and thick tactility. Honestly, Mike from Novel Keys hit it out of the park with the springs. But we are just soldering in some anchor switches at the moment. When I say anchor switches, for those who are new around here, typically when building a keyboard, you're going to want, before you put in all of the switches, you want to put in a few just to make your life easier. You don't necessarily have to. It's nothing... Okay, solder. Okay, solder, okay. Just gonna be a little bitch. Alright, there we go. Gotta tell the keyboard who's boss. You just want to make your life a little bit easier by putting in some switches, soldering them in, and then that will keep the plate and PCB in place so you don't... I'm sure if you've built a keyboard before, you've experienced the whole like, okay, I'm gonna put the switch in, and when you put the switch in, the plate just slaps the PCB and all your switches are now like falling everywhere. It's really fucking annoying. So I've got a couple little spots where I'm not exactly happy with the desolder. It's not going to really affect anything, but sometimes it's just better to rid those spots. So we got that one out. That one's fine. Just cleaning it up, making sure, clean it up, buttercup. Let's see, that one's good. All right, I think we're good. For those who don't know, desolder for the quick hand when you just need a couple. I mean, this is also good for, this is the only hand pump I would do for an entire desolder job. But if you are fortunate enough to have the desolder gun, I would highly recommend the desolder gun. If you don't own if you own a desolder gun, I would highly recommend this because you don't really need to pull out the desolder gun to fix like 3 switches. But this is, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of people's opinions, the best desoldering pump, desolder like air, pump out there. So, and I just shot solder all over my desk because I'm a pro streamer. Yeah. All right, let's get the rest of these bad boys in there. I am extremely excited to get this board back up and running at work. I love typing on it. It's super easy for those. If you're the one hang up you have about owning an Alice layout board, still managed to break mine in less than a year. Fair enough. But if you're one hang up about the Alice layout board is, I don't know if I'll be able to get used to it. It is insane how fast I've gotten used to it. It's insane how fast all of my friends that have one have gotten used to it. They all say it just feels very natural. It's a little goofy. It's definitely, it's different at first, right? But I am able to, all day at work, type on this and then come home and switch right back to another PCB or another board and not have any issues. So that is my 2 cents on that. We are rolling split backspace because it is the way. split right shift as well, because it is the way. I'm planning on building a Lubricante. Can't wait to experience it. It's fun. It's very fun. Stepped caps, because it is the way. The Dave way, at least. Getting those in. Next week, I don't know exactly what Eric's going to be building. I'm not. I'm going to be definitely not building. I'm getting my second vaccine shot on Friday. So I will be out of commission, most likely. I had some rough side effects from the first one, and I've heard, based off what I've seen, if you didn't get that many side effects the first go, then you'll probably get some side effects the second shot, but not a lot. And if you got more, like basically the worse the first round is, the worse the second round's going to be. So I'm like fully expecting to hate my life next Saturday. But Osiris will be building something fun. I want to say he's rebuilding his bower. I know he's been talking about doing that for a long time. I also know he wants to rebuild his Baka. So we'll see. I got lucky and only my arm hurt both times, but I've heard stories. Yeah. I mean, some people just, it's just however your body reacts to it. My arm killed me, but I was also, like, my arm just absolutely destroyed me. And then the other big one is I was super tired all day. Really lethargic. And just took like a big long nap in the middle of. It's actually funny. I watched Eric stream that day for like, I think he built the Matrix Noah that day. Watched him stream for like 20 minutes. I was like, I need to go take a nap. Took a nap, woke up, and he was like finishing up stream. All right, cool. With 3 left, 3 to spare. We have got this. Gonna check to make sure the pins went in. There are no glaring issues. This one did not go all the way in all the way. That's why we check. For those glaring issues. Guys, I want to create some, I want a huge shout, not create. I want to shout out a stream tonight that I'm very excited about is Keeb Noob is typing the B movie. So, and she's donating anything she gets from that stream, she is donating to charity. I can't remember the name of the charity. Keeb Noob, if you are in chat, go ahead and plug it. But guys, she's going to be, it's going to be probably a 2-3 hour stream of her just typing the B movie plot, or not plot, but script. So, the B Girl organization. Apollon 65, I don't think so. I know she's changing up boards that she's using. What is the B Girl organization? I am not woke to that. Please inform the masses. Cordos, thank you for the follow. I also missed Temenula Miranda. Temenuel Miranda. And Lavengia and Nick Smizzle. Thank you guys all for the follows. Charity focused on bee conservation and education for kids. Hell yeah. I kind of figured it was bee conservation, but you know, just didn't want to make the assumption. Why not help out the environment? Getting this all soldered up. So, what's everybody waiting on? What are people waiting on? Maybe this weekend, the mail. What's the overall? What are people getting pumped about? I've got a shit ton of mail coming this week. I've got some cool stuff. Some very fun things coming today and this week. I'm checking to see. So lots of packages out for delivery right now, but nothing delivered yet. 7V shipping soon. Yeah, I know it's that's shipping soon. Waiting on my Loki cap. That should be coming today too. Hopefully they get it. My guess is it's going to be like 10:50 and they're going to be like, it's delivered at your mailbox. I'm like, God damn it. Waiting for artisans. Hell yeah. Now I recently won the I got the Trace Blank from Hellbent, the EPBT aesthetic that I purchased. All right, no, EPBT aesthetic. It's the Trace Blank. I really like it because it's got it looks more of like a green modifier, and I really like those green mods. So. And a Dread from Dread Keys. There you go. Nice wins. I'm waiting on a few Archetype and Melody. Did you get... Which Archetype ones did you get? Did you get those, like, cool color chrome ones? I'm excited to bust out as I'm putting. One thing I love about the Alice style boards is you get a little little artisan holder right there for page up, page down, and delete. I never really use those because I still have them mapped appropriately, but to like a 60%. But it is fun to look at, fun to appreciate. I know one of the artisans, all my Star Wars / coffee ones. I think what I did last time was the Space Goblin by Archetype, a Mandalorian themed one by someone who honestly I forget the name of. I feel really bad about that. And then the Caffeinated Bear Ambassador by CYO. But we may change it up. We may throw something different. I do like the Caffeinated Bear as it's not a one-to-one match, but it wasn't really trying to match Cafe. He just likes coffee. CYO. So he was just trying to make like a coffee themed bear. But the colors of like the basket that the wish I had a serious art key. There it is. The color of like the other colors outside of the wee baby Grogu's artisan, or like his little blanket and stuff, it kind of matches Cafe really well. So I've always used that with Cafe. Kind of one of those happy accidents. getting these wrapped up. Is anybody else excited for fucking Mortal Kombat? Am I the only? I feel like I'm the only one that's like, I don't give a shit about the plot. I don't give a fuck about. I don't know anything about any of the stories of Mortal Kombat, but I'm not watching Mortal Kombat for the stories. Just like I watched Godzilla versus Kong. And I think I watched it in about 30 minutes. I skipped. I don't care what happens. Mainly because I can stream it. There you go. Looks so bad, but so fun. I mean, it looks. I mean, who cares, right? Some movies are just like I you know, people hate on the Transformers movies. I don't give a shit what's happening. I just want to see gigantic ass robots beating the shit out of each other. I'm not going to go see Transformers. I didn't watch Pacific Rim for the great plot. I watched Pacific Rim for the robot kaiju fights. Just like how I watched Godzilla vs. Kong to watch two gigantic, a dinosaur and a gorilla, beat the shit out of each other and level an entire city in the process. Yep, did the same thing. Let my family watch it and watch the fight. The writing is dog shit. It's a comedy at this point. Yeah, probably. I do like Kyle Chandler. He's one of my favorite actors. Because he is the epitome of, like, dad. I wanted more. Yeah, the Hollow Earth scenes were solid. Godzilla vs. Kong was legit good. I watched all 4 movies that series a couple weeks ago, and it was a solid lineup. It's because it's one of those movies. I feel like that's one of those movies that if you go in not like, expecting nothing from the plot, no emotional like reaction, and you're just like, I'm going to watch some movie about giant fucking monsters beat the shit out of each other / level a city. Like, that's why you're watching that. You're not watching it for plot. So if you go into it with that open mind of like, you know, I don't care, I'm not trying to be moved by this fucking movie, you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more. It's like, I haven't really watched it much anymore because I will say the series has taken a turn that I was not a huge fan of. But I really, really like the first 3 seasons of The Flash. I thought they were great. A lot of people were like, I don't, you know, it's like, oh, it's not, like, I've literally seen someone on the internet, so that's not believable. I'm like, you're watching a fucking, like, there's a bipedal shark that goes around eating people. Like, let's pump the brakes on believability when it comes to superhero TV shows. It's no Power Rangers, but it's pretty good. There you go. Could you imagine living in that world? No. I definitely wouldn't live anywhere near the ocean. You want to talk about living in that world? Kansas City, baby. Omaha, Nebraska. Fucking nowhere near anyone. I mean, absolutely, no one's safe, but I think you just kind of accept your fate at that point. If shit start going down, you just go, well, it was fun while it lasted. All right. I think we are all soldered up. To hopefully not unplug our cable. This cable's from Zap Cables, by the way, in case you were wondering. Huge shout out to Zap Cables because they make amazing cables. So let's pop this up. There we go. All right. This is EK Switch Tester, for those who don't know. It's a great little, it's easy, EK switch hitter, sorry. You can also use the VIA one, but I like this one a lot more. What does this do? Is that F and then that's Windows space space, that's Alt space, right control, page down, page up, delete. We are good. All right. Yes, I did put that leaning off. So I'm going to take a quick 2-minute grindonomic break. I suggest you guys stand up, stretch the legs a minute. I'm going to tidy up, use the restrooms. I will be right back, and we will wrap this build up. And maybe we just pray for GMK Terra to show up. So, guys, I will be right back. Thank you for sticking around. Give me just a few minutes. We are back. Desk mat swapped out for the Masterpiece desk mat. I think it will show off. Yeah, it'll show off that color a lot better. So, completed build. We're going to pop this back in. I have just like a mishmash of screws because for this particular one, I did a really bad job remembering to put stuff where. So we're just going to kind of figure this out. Those are like Bacchus squid screws. All right. Get our NAND set. I just saw your new Discord profile image. Yeah, dude. We were playing, there's this great game called Broken Picture Phone. It's just like a web-based game, a browser-based game. And Jenly Bean, who does all of the art for our stuff, she drew that. And like the joke was like, oh, Dave flipping his Squid 60 so he can buy the Bacca 40. And that was me. That was her interpretation of the picture. It's a really fun game. Basically, you start out by writing a prompt, and then someone draws a picture of their interpretation of what the prompt was, and then it takes away the prompt to the next person and puts on like their, you know, like write a prompt of what you think this person was trying to say. Now we're in the realm of random ass screws. And these are Phillips heads. What the hell? Alright, well. All over the place, baby. This is not a, like, no one sent me enough screws. This is 100% like me just not remembering where I put shit. Squid 60 was not run so chewy. Flip them. That's what the Polycarp Bacchus 60 was for. Get your lore right, people. The Bacchus 60 was Dave's retaliation at the Squid 60 ripping off the Bacchus 60. So we're going to try and align this correctly. It's a little bit difficult to do. I know for a fact if Blind Assassin could go back and redesign this board, he would put in alignment tabs. I'm pretty sure we've even had that conversation. What is happening? You good? Hold on. Let me... Oh, here, I'll just zoom in some. We're just having a meltdown right now. It does not want to focus. My apologies. I saw it because the light to my mouse was freaking out. Just got to keep my hand on it apparently. I have angered the camera gods. So what we're going to do is we're going to lightly screw in these so we can make sure it's aligned as perfectly as possible. The camera literally loves you, exactly. It's pulsating. I guess we could probably zoom out some now. Granted, there's not much you need to be able to see of me screwing in the back. Welcome to premium content where I screw in keyboards. But when you have a board where it's just kind of flat laying next to each other and there's no like alignment tabs or it doesn't fit perfectly. I mean, this fits perfectly, but not in the sense of like it's hugged together. Like this needs a little help being aligned. Just lightly put in the screws, and then I like to go by the tried and true star pattern. You don't need to tighten the screws ridiculously tight. When the screw stops, you can stop. Patina on the board's beautiful. Thank you. I love when the weight just looks rough and rugged. I am all about it. Like, look at that. These two are my favorites. Ooh, looks so good. Just looks beat up. And I love that, like, I'm the one that did this. Like, this happened with me. So cool. All right. Let's put these rando screws up. We got some Baka shipping screws / squid shipping screws. We've got some button heads. We've got funny story about button head screws. We ordered all the screws for the Baka 6. This is like the OG Baka run. We ordered all the screws, and I'm like, I screw them all in, and I'm like, this is wrong. Like the bottom, they're like sticking out really far. I'm like, hey, blind, like, what the hell? Oh, wrong space bar. And he's like, no, they're designed for them. And then I was like, are you sure, dude? Like, I'm not, like, you're way smarter than me, but like, I'm physically looking at this. And he was like, oh, God damn it. But he's the realist. I told everybody immediately of the private buy. I was like, it's going to be like 4 more days because we have to wait for some screws to come in. And he just sent me, I love the GIF. It's literally one of my favorite things that has happened to me. It was just the GIF of the panda that just starts beating the shit out of his keyboard. Oh, I fucking love it. So we got our Alt keys. 4. Yeah, that's still, I'm gonna have to tune that. And then like 10 seconds later, I got I got like the order number for him shipping out, because he did the real OG move, which is, he didn't make me pay for it, he paid for it. Now granted, it's screws, it didn't cost much to fix, but it was funny. We had a good laugh. I don't know. Here, I'll pull these out and we'll just decide later. F, G, H, J, K, L. Whoops. Got our caps. I'm already really loving the way this looks. I will say it looks a little bit more contrast. There's way more contrast in person or on the camera. There's a little less contrast, but I am about it. Because the brown was never supposed to match. It was always supposed to kind of accent the other two color, the tan and the brown, not one-to-one it. It's very difficult to one-to-one a color on a metal keyboard. Now if you get like a matte paint, then yeah, like you might be able to get it to look very, very close with like a matte paint, but most boards are metallic. CV. And so it'll be a lot easier to just pick a color that accents the set as opposed to picking a color that matches. And because also, you know, like I figured out with nines, like nines doesn't look as good in my opinion, because when you put it on a metal board, the gray is so shiny, it kind of has it. So I went with put nines on. I think it looks great on a black board because black just kind of, it's black. It doesn't, if the color changes, it changes to a shinier black, where gray can really take on its own different color. So That's why I really like the idea of just picking a color where it looks good with it, not necessarily to match. We are wrapping up. What does Cerakote finish feel like texture-wise? This one literally just feels like anodization. Some feel a little smoother. Like my Baka that's blue, it's a little smoother. It feels, you know, just like you took a sander to it. Did I really only just put one alt key in there? All right, whatever. But this one, I mean, this one literally just feels like every other board I own. Caps look good. Hell yeah. I really like this look. I need to... Hold on. I'm not thrilled. 1 second. There. That's a more flat picture profile. That's my... This is... I forgot this is like what I build with. So that's a little bit more flat. Let me... crank it up more so it's there. It is. Shift key better. It doesn't sound. I'm gonna tune it later. It's not perfect, but I'll fix it. It's fixable with some more lube. All right, so here's our options. So as I've said before, the Space Goblin, it matches really well. The dark brown and the tan kind of doing that. So that's guaranteed. I really like the Caffeinated Bear. Another guaranteed. Chat, you pick the last one. Just go, if you don't know the names of them, just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then do like first number is going to be row, second number column. Aqua Skull is the first one. We've got the Aqua Skull. The Gundam, there's another one. Gundam's one of the first ones. 3-5. The Mechs on Deck Blank. No, 3-5. This is the matching Bear Claw. So we got 3 options. Second, the Bear Claw. So these are our options. Lots of Bear Claw. I'm going to take the skull out. Thank you for the recommendation. It appears to be between these two. So you know what? Let's put up a poll. I'm not typing. Just a quick 1 minute. Poll is started. It's going to be at the top of chat. Bear Claw Gundam. Go vote. As I tidy up the rest of my space. And we'll do a quick sound test here in just a few. I will take this moment to give a quick shout to our awesome sponsors. So first and foremost, we have Omnitype GMK Blurple running right now. So very awesome keycap set there. Be sure to check that out this month. Project Keyboards, we got DCS, I keep forgetting the first, DCS Delftware. So it's a very unique and novelty set. Love lots of sub-legends. So be sure to check that out. Cannon Keys right now. GMK Peaches and Cream Light. GMK Peaches and Cream Round 2, if you will. Very, very cool set there by Rensuya. So be sure to check that out. They've also got the Dark Amber switches. The Lavender Linears are back up. This is the one that we went with on these on this board. Be sure to click that link if you want them. Also, we are sponsored by Kinetic Labs. If you want some lube brushes, if you want lube brushes, there's some keycap sets on there, some new switches you want to try out, storage options, they're all there. So be sure to check that out. And of course, we also have our awesome partners. So let me hit that. We've got these great partners in Zap Cables. They make some of the best cables in the business. You can also make your own, order the parts to make your own. Great stuff there. Typebeast, you can go typebea.st. It's an amazing newsletter. Absolutely love getting to hear about the new stuff that is coming out. He is also running Mech Madness right now. We're in the semifinals, so be sure to go vote. Next up, Smith and Rune, smithrune.com. Polycarbonate 165s coming later this year. If you can't wait until then, you can maybe at least deck yourself out head to toe in some merch. And lastly, 3D Keebs. They do have the BDZ lube that I used today. And I'm going to continue to use on that shift key because something fucky with that. And then they've also got awesome desk mats and stuff like that. U4 Thox, I believe. So go check all that out. The Gundam won. And what I can imagine, 6 votes to 5. Let's unplug. There we go. All right. Okay, so here we go on this. Honestly, I think I just need to hit it more with lube. But here it is. So I'm going to do one. I'm going to check and see if I have any mail deliveries at the moment. Not delivered. So no GMK Terra today. Sorry. Well, at least not on stream. So we've got linears, lavender linears, 89 grams unlubed, in a brass plate. This is the OSA designed by Blind Assassin. It's top mounted. I've got one desk mat on a countertop. I'm actually going to leave the volume on so that you can hear the typing test. I'm using a dynamic microphone. It is treat how you will with this. Just know I am aware that the left shift is rattly. It feels fine. It's just a little rattly. So I am fully aware of that. The rest of them do sound fine. But here is the sound typing test. If my mic, hold on. Loud. I like it. I'm about it. That shift is rough, but I'll fix it. So the fact it's been a minute since I've used unlubed switches. So they are not the smoothest thing in the world that I've typed on because I've used these switches lubed, right? But they still feel really, they're not scratchy. They're just not like creamy, like, and when I say creamy, not like creams, but like they're not like creamy smooth or anything like that. They are incredibly smooth. I don't think they're scratchy. I do think I'm going to go... I think I'm going to go lube the stabilized switches some. They sound solid. Well, I just typed the letter C, so enjoy that. They sound really, really good. Hopefully that came through. Like I said, that shift is just rough, but I think I'm going to lube the stabilized keys with just some 205 grade 0. So we'll just call and respond. There we go. So I think that's my final thoughts on that. I've loved this board for a long time. It'll be fun to bring this back to work. I think it looks great. The cafe theme. I wish Langlandia was here, but I'll be sure to send him a pic. But overall, yeah, very pleased with the lavender switches. I think they're a fantastic buy. And I know that they would only be smoother with a little bit of lube. So, but yeah, this week, Artisan April continues. Here, let's switch it. Let's switch it up. Artisan April continues this week with like I said, Sodi Caps, Baden Bushi and Hellbent. They'll be joining us this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Tuesday, 8 p.m. What are words? Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Eric will be back up here with me for the weekly Mechs on Deck episode. And I'll be showing off GMK Terra, hopefully, as long as, like, knock on wood, it gets delivered. So thank you guys very, very much for coming out today. Nice, easy build. We don't need words. Just do an entire build stream silent. I'm not seeing too many people. Who's this person? Yay, it's Kate. I don't know. I think we'll raid this person, though. I'm going to see what they're doing and how far they're in. I have no idea what they're doing. Oh, wow. They are all up in that soldering. Holy shit, that's dope. All right, cool. Thank you on the nice color. So we are going to get that going. One moment. All right, so thank you guys. Closing up shop till Tuesday. Enjoy and have a wonderful rest of your weekend.